Salad or Dolly, threw a great party. We all drank Bacardi, it got kinda gnarly. We're light as a feather, we're tougher than leather. Together we're weirder together.
Weirder Together podcast. This is Ben Lee.
This is Ione.
And if you are just listening, you should watch this episode because you will see us in our bathrobes at the Standard Hotel.
In Bangkok.
In Bangkok, where we're just finishing up a few days, little holiday. And so that's why this might sound different. I know you hate it when podcasts say it might sound different, but...
Oh, no, that's... In this case, I don't mind.
Because we're not using real microphones. We're just talking into the phone.
I like my podcasts to be... They're, reliable. Like, I want them to always be, the same in a certain way.
I hear you.
And when people... I don't want... someone complaining. I don't love when a podcaster is like, I've got a cold. I just want them.
No, but we're not here with any handicaps.
No,
we are just.
Not that handicaps are bad.
No,
but we're just saying, we're literally talking through our phone this podcast.
We just wanted to pod from the hotel room before
we're on the field.
This has been an excellent week in Bangkok. We haven't been away, just the two of us, for any extended period in since before we were married, for sure, right?
So it was almost 20 years. It sounds crazy, but...
Well, because when we got together, Ione was already a mum. Kate was 4 years old. So we never had a single dating life, really, where we were unencumbered. And
then we would just sort of visit each other at work. I did a Christmas movie in Dublin, and I brought our little baby, and then Kate came with the babysitter, and you came... But it turns into work and then the kids coming along kind of thing. And then we've gone on little things, but never far-ish away-ish.
And this...
Wait, what about... Paris, I was pregnant.
Yeah, Paris, you're pregnant
nauseous.
and sick. Yeah.
And so that was only a couple days anyway. So anyway, here we are without the kids.
Yeah, so the premise of this trip, the way it came about was kind of interesting because it was sort of a very ass backwards way we fell into this trip. But it was all around the idea of I was trying to get my clothes together for the Awake is the New Sleep Australian tour that's coming up September, October. And I ended up I had a very specific thing in mind that I wasn't able to find anywhere. So I started coming to the realization I'd have to get these clothes made. And then you start budgeting that stuff out and it just becomes very prohibitive to do it in Sydney or LA or Paris or whatever. So we're let's go to Bangkok. And then we knew, Belinda Carlisle, our friend, had lived here for 10 years and she was giving us tips and it all just sort of turned into this adventure.
Because you can get clothes made. I once had clothes made in India. Mm. You can get clothes made in Vietnam.
What'd you get done in India?
I got a dress copied and it was perfect.
Amazing.
It was in Amritsar.
Amazing.
But and then so we heard Bangkok or Vietnam, which would have been amazing. And we just decided Bangkok because our friend Byron Spencer was going to DJ at the Standard, so we were going to have this sort of, relationship. We were going to have a throuple. Just kidding, we weren't. But we were going to have a vacation with our friend Byron.
Yeah, and then he ended up not being able to do it. So anyway, here we are, and it's been actually kind of a weirdly... It's been a transformative time.
Yeah.
It's such a... It's so... I don't know, we're still, we've got a lot, we're parenting still. We have a teenager at home and we're in the middle of work and there's obviously weird stuff going on in the world, but there's something about just getting out of your habitual patterns and just regular routine that it shakes things up and it makes you look at life differently. And it's I'm the first person to ever travel before. It feels
like it.
It does feel like it. And I think because I've traveled so much touring, for work, I never really traveled for pleasure.
It's different. Yeah. It's a different mindset.
It really is.
Totally different. And Bangkok's, it's one of those cities that you go out for a couple hours and then you have to come back. Not only because it's sort of hot and humid, but it's a proper city. So you kind of duck in and cool off, check back in, go back out again, and every time I've cooled off and chilled out in the hotel room or whatever, when I go back out, I get that immediate because it's sort of got this that like tropical weather vibe and
dense air.
smells that are great. And so you can imagine we've been eating incredible food.
And the hotel is next to this thing called the Manahkon Tower, which I guess isn't technically the tallest building in Bangkok anymore, but it was for a period.
It's beautiful actually on the outside. And
it looks like a Jenga, like sort of half, like people have pulled a few of the Jenga blocks out.
Exactly. I think that's what they were basing it on when they built it. We flew.
Well, mission accomplished.
We flew, and I was having kind of like a panic because why? So many reasons.
Well, you always generally have a panic before you travel.
Sure, I'm very controlling, and I know I'm gonna have a big experience, and I'm just like I get anxious. So we arrived like not that late, but the first thing, because we didn't realize we're next to this tall building.
And they give you a couple of drink tickets, like cocktails.
So we're like, go on the roof, and it's like one of those elevators that's like.
It's 100 floors up. I mean,
it goes
is
really
so
fast,
high. Yeah,
and then
yeah,
they play. And last time I was in Bangkok in the 90s on tour with the Beastie Boys. Last time, so in the mid 90s, it wasn't such a fancy schmancy city. You've got old Bangkok still vibes, but there's so much money and new buildings, and it's like fancy. And like Tokyo, this building, the elevator is showing all these images. We're flying. I'm not great with heights. I'm not like, my mom really hates heights. I'm not like crazy about them, but first thing we do, and Ben does that thing where you walk on the glass.
They have a thing called the skywalk, where it's like a platform made of glass so you can walk out
and you're looking down, and it's
terrifying. It's weird because intellectually with these types of things, they also have the thing we didn't do where you lie on that net and get suspended over 100 floors, but it's weird how at a completely like reptilian level your brain is sending every signal it can to your body that you are not safe.
I can't even do it in the virtual thing that we used to have for
on that Optimus.
For a kid, like where you're up high and whatever. I can't do it.
But it was amazing just getting a scope of the city from up on top of there.
Yes, so observations. I just immediately like, not to generalize, but I will. I like the Thai culture, the Thai people. I'm not saying everyone's fabulous, but like there's a difference that I really, really like.
There's a very friendly.
And
culture,
friendly, sweet. I'm sort of generalizing, but that was really, really good, and that calmed my anxiety. Just picking up on the sweet
people were
sweet
very,
vibes.
very sweet. So the next morning, I sort of started this journey with who I now consider my dear friends, the Peninsula Tailors, because the amount of visits it takes to get these, like, I ended up getting 2 suits and a sports jacket made.
And it is like very emotional because we've been waiting.
Man.
Like we watched the Devo documentary, and so much about Devo was their look, their philosophy, their films, their performance art, their like intellectual, their intellectual, their beliefs, blah, blah, blah. But like the clothes, when you're a performer, already clothes and hair for anybody can be quite emotional.
And you know what's so weird about it? Like,
but
clothes...
when you tie it in with your performance, it's like,
And clothes they're most effective when they are worn effortlessly, right? But the act of getting there, I just find like every creative process is like super emotional because you are... you're trying to go from conception to manifestation, and there's so many things that can go wrong along the way.
Do you think, because like Bowie was so svelte, and which means thin
and tall,
like he just could put anything on, and he was like...
No, but Bowie had an amazing sense of style. He was never just putting anything on.
Obviously, I'm just saying that you can have amazing sense of style, but you would feel prohibited if if everything didn't just look excellent on you.
Well, like all the rest Bowie of me, I feel like that. Yeah.
Well, just saying for Bowie,
you can put anything on. You look amazing.
Oh my
in anything.
God.
You do.
Oh, okay. Thank you. That's wonderful to hear. Thank you so much.
This is Peninsula Tailors, their card. If you're watching on video, I'm showing these guys. I do recommend it. I feel like they worked with me. They understood the different looks I was going for, and oh man, I was nervous and I was on edge just to get the process started. But when we picked the fabrics, we did the measurements, we talked about cut and the way I wanted it to fall, and it was like, it was really fun actually.
I know. I brought an APC like coat. Everything I have is from the 90s. I mean, my whole life stopped in the 90s, I guess. Anyway, I love this APC jacket. Can never find it on like eBay or Etsy. So I was like, maybe I'll get a copy, but it was going to be so much money. So I did not do it.
You opted to spend your money on shopping.
My daddy, my sugar. No, then I did the whole, because they have all the knockoff bags. And now I just like, I know I bought the wrong one, but that's fine.
Well, I thought a lot. We did do this visit to the MBK Mall, which is like where they have all these designer knockoff brands, and it was a lot of food for thought actually, because I was telling you, it was reminding me of a conversation I had with Jem Archer and Michael Stipe at Time Cafe in the late 90s, when Michael had been to Tommy Hilfiger. They'd invited him up there and gifted him these beautiful cashmere sweaters. And Jem, his friend, was like disapproving of sort of the gratitude he had with to Tommy Hilfiger. And Mike was like, why wouldn't I be grateful? They gave me these beautiful sweaters. There were no labels on it. They were just beautifully made clothes. And Jem Archer was like, yeah, but they're giving it to you so that you will help sell them, sell t-shirts with big T-O-M-M to teenagers and people in their 20s and 30s who aspirationally want to just wear labels. And it is like a really weird thing how a lot of these labels are based on actually great craftsmanship, but they end up selling logos to people. Yeah. And what is that? Like, what?
Well, that's just, some people don't mind just having the logo. Like I remember being in Disneyland, I think in the 80s, and I remember that I counted like 100 Gucci t-shirts or something. There was just everyone wearing a t-shirt that said Gucci. And like here in Bangkok, it's a lot of labels, and the quality is not so terrific on some of these clothes. But the truth is, like really, like you go and get like an Hermes sandal, it's going to be really well made. I don't know. I mean, it's that is like craftsmanship, but they can't make the money. So what are you saying? Like, why would someone be satisfied?
I don't know. I guess it's sort of
just
like
getting the label.
If you just get the label without the craftsmanship, I guess I'm like, what does it say about consumerism?
What about your t-shirts?
Well,
is that the same thing?
What t-shirts?
Your band t-shirts.
Oh, well, that's true. But the ones that are good are actually great cuts.
Yeah,
great.
Like
I've had vintage t-shirts that are not great cuts.
I mean, the knockoff stuff. Another name dropping thing that I'm gonna say. When I was once with Mark Jacobs in New York, I feel like in my memory, we're walking on Canal Street, and he said it's the same, like the knockoffs are the same.
Oh, the fake Marc Jacobs bags.
Yeah, but the truth is, I thought, oh, that's so cool of him to say that in a weird way, because it's like not snobby and like it's kind of amazing. But I look at these knockoffs and like mainly, like maybe some of them will be, but they're not as good.
Well, anyway, I think the two bags you picked looked very cool. They look
maybe from afar.
Yeah, well, that's
it's all good. And we're not too much.
Stay away, fellas. They are designed. She's designed to be appreciated from afar. I'm being
stay away.
Stay away, fellas.
They're good with drunk glasses on.
So after that, we went to this place called in Changzhou, the Red Building, which is an incredible vintage mall. And that was something like, I didn't know it existed until I saw it on TikTok.
Yeah.
And it is so incredible. It's like...
There was a fire that's day after.
No, that was at the Platinum Mall.
Oh, the vintage
mall. The Red Building,
This is our shopping
so
we did more than shop.
But if you're ever in Bangkok and you like vintage clothes, it's hard to describe how big this place is. It's like
4 levels.
4 levels of tiny stalls that all sell curated vintage clothes.
Yeah.
And even though
not
basically
all of them were as good as others. So it's not like
right.
But some were terrific.
And they are
if you can find someone to buy them from.
Yeah, there's a lot of
some people are like, you're like, I want this, but you don't know where.
Yeah, they've closed up shop for a siesta, and a lot of these places like resellers walk around. Like I think we first heard about it from Route 66 in Sydney, on King Street, where they'd just come back from a trip to Thailand buying vintage clothes. I did not know this market
So the
existed.
second time we went there, which I did not think I would go again because it's overwhelming, we separated, and I was on the ground floor and the lights were almost off. It was like very dark, but people were open and selling stuff. There was a whole wing of Native American clothes, old vintage cowboy clothes, and Native American like dresses and headdresses and rugs. But like it was weird. Like some of them were like more just like,
wait, headdresses?
yes, they had, it was like crazy. It was like going to a museum, but some of the stuff was like, oh my God, like very expensive, like vintage, whatever, like Native American jewelry and things. But then some of the rugs were just sort of more like those ponchos you get in Venice Beach that are kind of Mexican poncho that are, they're great, but they're not like vintage. But it was big, and I was looking at this woman and she was dressed kind of Native American, but I was like, is she Native American? I couldn't tell, but you didn't see it. It was bizarre. It was very like Twilight Zone because it's not what you would think would be here.
Absolutely. Well, none of these clothes. I don't know any of these clothes that do up here. These are all like, they're like vintage indie rock band shirts. Like I found this little stall and bought a vintage Dinosaur Jr. t-shirt, which to me is like, that's like a, gold, pure
There's
gold.
a lot of Cartwright.
Yeah, Carhartt.
Carhartt.
Yeah.
What's Cartwright?
Cartwright? That's from that Seinfeld episode about the Chinese restaurant where they keep calling out.
I don't know. I don't know. I'm not a deep lore Seinfeld person. We met a friend of a friend.
Our friend Kitty from Sydney connected us with Amrita Hepi, who's a dancer and artist from Australia. And her husband, Abdullah, and Amrita's sister was here too. And we had we went out to a place called Naam, what was it called? Naam 1608 on the river.
Oh yeah, that was great. It
And
was
had dinner with
pouring rain
Amrita
with lightning.
And we were like climbing over puddles.
Oh my God, it was so funny because we got to this restaurant and all of a sudden there was one of those flash rains or whatever, and there was all this water. I was wearing white pants. And then we climbed over this wall, or climbed on the wall. And then
because otherwise you were standing in like,
and you were like,
6
it's
inches
fine.
of
And then I
water.
look on the other side of the wall and there's just giant piles of rusted metal, like from like a trash heap of rusted metal. And I was like,
It was a celebration of tetanus.
it was a celebration. Oh, I did get a scrape.
Not then. That wasn't then.
Oh my God, I was so
You're
worried
good.
because all of a
You're
sudden I
good.
had a scrape and I was like, oh my God. But I think my tetanus shot is still good from what is it, last like 10 years?
Oh yeah, you got that.
Anyway,
good
it's
tetanus
all
stuff.
good. It's all good. That was really nice. Of course,
You got that pre-RFK tetanus shot. Those ones that work,
baby. I had one of the best soups. The Thai food in Thailand is very, very good, and it was at the mall. It was,
at the vintage
incredible.
mall.
And it was
yeah,
so
upstairs.
spicy that I was just burned a hole in my stomach, and then the next day I was like, I need it again. I love it.
But it was so nice to meet some friends here.
Yeah.
That I feel like partly also when you're Kitty is someone who we trust her implicitly. Like she was like, you guys are all gonna like each other, and so that was great.
We only had 1 to 1.5 fights. One was after
we
one
did
meal Ben planned.
Well, we went to this place called Bo.lan, which is actually opened by this Australian chef, but it's like it's the only Michelin star modern Thai restaurant in the world, and it was one of these like 10-course like incredible meals where each thing is like an explosion.
Belinda she might be vegan, but she had a vegan meal. But we went there and I think I was like just overtired, and I unfortunately was still not hungry because I had lunch too late.
But Anna was raining and we'd been on the packed train and running late.
Oh
and
yeah,
it was just
we
stressful,
mastered the trains here are really good.
Yeah.
But we had a little fight because Ben was like, I guess you don't like, it's not omokasu.
Degustation, like a long, it was just like, anyway, whatever, couples have fights. But that was funny, Amrita and Abdul had a,
see, I was right.
Had a similar fight at one of these long meals. So I think one of the services that these long Michelin degustation restaurants offer is space to unearth some deep resentments between couples and really just give you some space to argue.
Yeah.
So I'm grateful for
No,
that.
no, it's good. It was like bad therapy.
And what about onsen? How was your onsen experience?
Oh my gosh, I loved it. There's a Japanese onsen.
The Yunimori Onsen around the corner from this
I
hotel was
got
great.
really worked, man.
Oh, you got a massage?
I thought I was
yeah.
getting a Swedish massage, but it was kind of a mashup. And she went at me. It
She
was
did.
like a Rolfing.
And I did not. I mean, the actual onsens, like these baths, mineral baths you sit in. I mean, they're great, but I want to sit in them for like a minute. You see
I know,
people
well, you
spending an
said-
hour
I
having
know.
these
First
long-winded.
you said, why don't we give ourselves an hour? And I was like, no.
No, you were right.
And then I said, let's do 30 minutes and then we'll meet in there.
But there was a great restaurant behind the onsen called Happy Rice that had incredible,
Oh, yeah.
just great,
Like,
really clean,
almost
healthy,
like
beautiful.
macrobiotic, but just Japanese. And oh man, it was just, I'm getting bad at taking pictures because this onsen looked like beautiful. The building, the architecture, it's like Japanese minimalist at its best. I can't take a good picture.
Well, we were talking about this last night with Amrita and those guys, that we're in a generation where the skill set to take better and better photos, it's like the machinery's there. Like we all have the same phones. But like we'll go to a concert and we'll see someone filming and taking photos and they're taking these crisp,
I know.
beautiful pictures.
But I have the
We'll stand
same-
right next to them with the
I
same phone and
know.
take these fucking blurry
I have
things.
the same phone. I've been at a concert and someone's filming a really beautiful, like high, crisp thing, and I'll film what they're filming.
Yeah.
Like I'll take a film of their camera because I'm just like, I can't even believe how bad mine looks. It's not even that I wipe my screen, lens. It's not just greasy or anything. Anyway,
Yeah.
it's a mom thing. Just after a certain age, get the bad pics.
And we went last time. We went to this bar called Doma, where I drank a cocktail I've never had before, which was tequila, vodka, and yuzu.
It sounds like
And it was good.
Oh yeah, without sans the yuzu, it sounds like, what's that drink that has,
Long Island iced tea.
yeah, like they just throw everything in it.
Just designed to mess you up. Wait, let's talk about the Devo doco for a minute, because that's the one thing we sort of watched while we were here. It's on Netflix at the moment. If you don't know about Devo, they were a new wave pop, but sort of performance art.
Who doesn't
band.
know about Devo? Or they
I
call
actually think
it
quite a lot of people. Oh, Devo.
Devo.
Yeah, they call
I
themselves
mean,
Devo.
listen, I
But-
thought I knew that had.
No, but I think actually I actually don't know in Australia if Devo were as
Yeah.
popular as they were in America. I mean, you have memories of, what was Dono's joining the fan club?
Oh yeah, I have a distinct memory of getting the Devo fan club merch in the mail. My brother got it, and you got the Devo had these red plastic hats. They had an incredible sensibility.
Well, they started as a visual art project too, and sort of a philosophical thing, and the music came after that.
Yeah, and like, you could say political, but they yeah, it's a great documentary. Yeah, they had mad hits and
Whip It, everyone knows Whip It.
Yeah.
And the What Girl You Want.
Girl You Want. Yeah, they have so many. But
Mongoloid.
I'm a deep fan. But I felt like everybody was. Also, they were like when MTV was, they kind of had all the music videos on at first because they had done all these videos.
Well, they were making videos before MTV
Yeah.
was playing videos.
So when
Yeah.
MTV came out and Devo had their first hit or two, MTV were looking for content before all the videos like Thriller and Duran Duran and like all these videos started happening. Devo was like, oh, we have like 8. And they're like, great. So they were just on heavy rotation on MTV in the early days of MTV. But yeah, Devo were brilliant.
And one of the things about this doco that is, there's no big dramatic twist or anything, but one of the questions that it poses is, can you actually operate within the system without being subject to the system? Like, will the system basically inevitably turn everything into another product that has a beginning, middle, and end?
Yeah.
You
Well,
know what I
they
mean?
tried-
A corporate lifespan.
They
So,
tried
yeah.
their hardest to subvert but also do it. And I think the answer is no. You can't. But anyway, that's a recommendation.
Yeah, watch that. It's on Netflix. You guys will really like it.
So good.
And yeah.
And it's happy because Mark Mothersbaugh. Mark
Mothersbaugh. Yeah.
Mothersbaugh. Why am I
I
saying?
think it's Mothersbaugh, isn't it? Yeah.
Anyway, we're saying it wrong, but
It's one of those ones you just mumble like
It's
Mark
a-
Mothersbaugh. Yeah.
he's a happy ending. The band's pretty much a happy ending because they didn't really crash and burn with drugs. And
Well, and he became a big film composer.
yeah, so if you
and,
care about,
yeah.
people doing well, he ended up fine doing, Pee-wee and
Yeah.
Rugrats and all these gigantic. He is a composer.
Now, yesterday I went
All your
and I got all
troubles
my
seem so far
clothes.
away.
Yeah, and wow, it's so fun. It actually
clothes came out great.
The clothes came out great,
Beautiful
and it
babies.
reminds me of that feeling you get with music. If you hear a production element in your mind, and then you're able to create it,
Yeah.
and it's so. As human beings, we are so deeply our power is very limited. What we can actually do and what we can, but when we have the ability to have a thought and a vision and translate it into something practical and physical, that I don't know. There's like a real victory in that. Like I feel really,
I know.
I feel really happy
It
about
doesn't-
that.
Projects do not always come out, and your suits
They have, yeah.
they came out. I mean, they're tailor made, literally tailor made to you.
So what would you say? What do you have any big takeaways from this Bangkok trip?
Before we sign off,
Yeah,
everyone on the subway is very quiet.
that's true.
Bangkok is very functions very well, like everything is functioning. I don't know the ins and outs of the politics per se and what's going on
And the kings and which kings and which order. And, yeah.
behind the scenes, but there's an infrastructure that's working really well. The subway was really terrific. What else?
A lot of praise
haven't
for the subway.
seen-
Yeah.
very good.
Yeah.
I only saw 3 cats and 3 dogs the whole time I was here, which was surprising. Vaping.
And you named
none.
them yourself.
I didn't see any vaping. I think it's illegal.
That's true. Yeah, vaping apparently is illegal.
And not that much cigarette smoking, which was interesting. But also I enjoyed how there's that trope or that thing, the ugly American,
Ah, yes, we have heard of that.
right? But here, every time we had a mistake, the locals, like interacting with whatever at the restaurant or whatever, they would find it adorable and giggle. And I was like, it made me think, what if I started loving that. And I was like, what if someone was addicted to that as an attention thing? Just making mistakes in front of local people in Thailand and they finding it adorable.
You're unlocking a new level of clowning.
Yes.
Yeah.
Adorable mistake maker, which is kind of the way I am. But I would like to find myself adorable. Like I've always noted with you, like when we play tennis, for example, and you make a mistake, you laugh. When I make a mistake playing tennis, I want to smash my racket, but you laugh. So it's like, yeah, that's a good lesson. I'll have an inner local Thai person inside my head, just giggling like, oh, isn't that cute?
When we're going back to Sydney tonight, and next week we're in the new Curious Media Studios. So that's going to be fun. We're going to start building a little set there that we're excited about. Awake is New Sleep Tour is coming up. We're now less than a month out.
I'm doing some more book promotion stuff.
Oh yeah, you've just announced Brisbane Writers Festival.
Yeah, with Griffin Dunn.
Yeah, so there's tickets available for that. And
we're just hanging on, hoping against hope.
Holding on to hope.
But yeah, I think this has been really good for us, and
Me
now
too.
we'll get back to life.
Regular programming. Okay, beautiful babies. Thanks for tuning in. Back with regular pods next week. See you guys.
Together we're weirder together.